Dan Willis here, and we're talking about medical debt and specifically 4 tips for dealing with medical bills and collections. First and foremost, however, is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the FDCPA. That's worth reviewing at your convenience because that clearly spells out all of your rights as a consumer when dealing with these aggressive, harassing debt collectors. So, the first point is to request account validation. This should be done in writing and it's your right. But what you're doing with this is you're telling that collection agency to first prove that's actually your account and your debt, and then you can potentially talk about payment. They'll have to respond, they're required to respond by providing you with the evidence and the documents that proves that's your debt. If they don't validate your account, which is not uncommon, then you're no longer legally responsible. And if they're following the rules, they're supposed to notify all 3 of the credit bureaus to have them remove that collection that's on your credit report regarding this account. So this next point is the actual statute of limitations. If your account is validated, you'll receive the documents and you want to inspect it and look for the date of last activity. You see, for most debts and medical debts included, you're not legally responsible for payment forever. It will depend upon your state of residence, so investigate your local listings. However, generally speaking, it's about 7 years from the date of last activity. And one of the sneakiest and illegal collection tactics that are used is to re-age consumer debts so they can continue to collect payment on them, so they can continue to report negative information on your credit report, messing up your credit score. And by FICO, just on a sidebar, FICO, the company that calculates credit scores, says a collection listing on your credit report can damage your score by up to 100 points. So this next point is actually negotiating a settlement. And this is should only enter negotiations after you've requested validation and it's valid and it's within the time period that you want to address it. So negotiating a settlement, first and foremost, always negotiate to pay much less. If they're contacting you for $1,000 debt, they very well may be very happy to receive a $200 payment or 20% of the debt to settle it. Typically, you can settle your account from anywhere as low as 10% up to as high as 40%. That will depend upon the age of your account. The older your debt gets, the less you'll have to pay. However, before you pay, please, you must get the collection agency to agree and in writing that in exchange for your payment, they'll stop reporting your account information to all 3 of the credit bureaus. If you neglect to do this, then the only thing that's going to happen with your payment is that the collection item that's on your credit report, the status is going to change. It's going to be changed to a paid collection. A paid collection is still a bad, negative, derogatory item that's going to damage and drag your credit score down. So this last step, and this should only be entered into with that agreement. And with that agreement, you can make your payment. And now that they've stopped reporting your account information to the credit bureaus, we want to exercise some more of your rights as a consumer, specifically those rights that are granted by the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And this entitles you to dispute any item on your credit report that you believe is questionable, inaccurate, or made in error. You can file your dispute, and you're going to have to file your dispute directly with all 3 of the credit bureaus, assuming that that item is on all 3 of your credit reports. But you can file your dispute online, over the phone, and by mail. Once the credit bureau gets your dispute and finds it valid, which is another conversation, but once they find it valid, they're going to conduct an investigation. During an investigation, they're going to contact that collection agency and ask them for verification of your account. As per your settlement agreement, the collection agency is not going to verify your account. Thus, the credit bureaus have to comply with the FCRA, and any item that cannot be verified must be removed from your credit report. That's how most people get items off of their credit report, and it's one of the most effective methods of cleaning up bad credit. And we recommend to our members to consider professional credit repair services. This is Dan Willis. We're going to include a link in the description below over to an article at our website for the full scoop. We also have a free report available there, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. Please subscribe and join our congregation. Have a splendid day and looking forward to talking to you again here soon.